Uganda, the Pearl of Africa, has long been defined by its rich agricultural heritage. With its fertile land and abundant freshwater resources, including the iconic Lake Victoria, the country has thrived as a centre of farming and aquaculture for centuries. Fish, especially, has been central to the Ugandan way of life, providing sustenance, livelihood, and a deep cultural connection. Now, a groundbreaking new venture is set to elevate this tradition to unprecedented heights. A smoked catfish business that exemplifies Uganda's capacity to produce high-value, export-ready products entirely within the continent. This transformative venture, a joint effort between Dominion Capital and Masheda Food, has been 4 years in the making. It reflects Uganda's growing capacity to produce world-class goods and meet the stringent standards of international markets, including Europe and the United States. Processed, packaged, and certified entirely within Uganda, this venture highlights a significant shift in Africa's economic narrative. Rather than exporting raw materials, it keeps value creation local, creating jobs, empowering communities, and driving sustainable growth. While serving other countries, the business remains internationally focused, aiming to position Uganda as a leader in high-end quality products. The project builds on Uganda's history of farming and aquaculture, demonstrating the country's potential as a hub for innovation and value addition. It's not just about smoked catfish, it's about showcasing Uganda as a beacon for Africa's rise in global trade, where the continent drives growth through quality, excellence, and self-reliance. My name is Eugene Aisi, and I welcome you to Uganda. Before, I took you to Kenya and Tanzania, and today we're in Uganda. Dominion Capital joint venture with Masheda Foods. What's been achieved in the last 5 years, I would say, it's pretty impressive. And as you know, I usually only deal with like agriculture, fresh produce, but this is the first time we're taking something from the beginning, as far as the raw product, processing it in Africa, and then sending it worldwide. Uganda is not agriculture, but it's actually we're in the fish business in Uganda. So I'm really looking forward to showing you what we've achieved over the last couple of years. Look up with us, we go down, see where the magic happens. And what's beautiful is, like, you have this amazing resort here, but you have no idea going further down what awaits you. The way it's been designed here, it's truly something. As they were saying, Kenya, twende. Is that the same in Uganda? Twende. Swahili, sorry. Twende. Let's go. This project, honestly, it's been a while in the making, and I'm really pleased that that we're now here, ready to give the product to the world. And to be honest, I have to. When Mum first started, I was just like,
It seemed like
a pipe dream.
exactly.
But now it's coming to fruition. See something? See, it's like 4 years ago. See that building there, the incomplete one. I think that was to be like a rooftop bar stroke restaurant. Not yet finished yet, but that's what it will be. Maybe in the next year or so. So I think one of the things, I think 2 years ago when I was here, we went to, the place called Kambugo.
Yeah.
And then the program is beyond the fish we have here in terms of the catfish. We help support literally street kids, took them off the street and then put them into catfish farming.
Yeah.
And then what we do is we literally buy all their catfish,
Yeah.
which we will process and export worldwide.
Absolutely.
I think we'll have time to show you some of that, but that's a really great project. Literally kids from the street, we pick them up and put them into the program, show them how to farm catfish, and their produce will end up on your shelves. So that's what this is.
explaining. Mr. Norman, show us how the magic begins.
Like I told you, it's a mixed farm, but today we are looking at catfish.
Yeah.
And we are going to look at the production of catfish, then from there to the hatchery, from hatchery to the nursery, from nursery then to Growout ponds up to the harvest.
Yes.
Now where we have reached here, this is where we keep our brood stocks. We have males and females, we separate them. The reason why we separate them, we don't want the males to disturb the females for the eggs. Because if they disturb them, they will release the eggs.
They release the eggs.
So by the time you reach in the hatchery, you don't have enough eggs. Yeah, for production.
So then, how do you tell? How do you tell which is female and male?
The females have 2 openings. Then the males have one opening. When we reach at that stage, I will show you the difference. Because when you remove it like this, you can see it.
You can see it.
Yeah. So here is Sam Lema.
Yeah.
He's the technical person on the ponds. So you take us through the...
They always, Sam is a technical person. I call him the director of technical affairs, Mr. Sam.
Yes.
He knows his stuff inside out. So Sam, take us through.
Yeah, first of all, you are most welcome. So as the manager told you earlier, so these are our broodstock ponds. So I'm just going to show you how we do the feeding, and then other processes I will explain you later. Nay.
And these are about 1 kilo.
Yeah.
But one thing also with the feed is, this is our own special blend feed. It's not like you have normal catfish feed, but this is especially made for this farm. Own technical, own nutrition, own technical makeup.
Actually, when the feed, talk about the feed that was in the market was not giving us the results.
The size, yeah.
That's why we decided to get our own formula, to produce our own feed. That helps us to grow fish in 6 months. We harvest to attain 1 kilo.
1 kilo.
So this is the feed that we are using, and it's giving us good results. Exactly.
There's a lot of people who do catfish, they're not able to get the size, but with this formula, within 6 months, you're able to attain 1 kilo per catfish. That's great.
So these are males. We are going to see the females. Then we go to the hatchery.
Okay. One of the things is the birds actually come in and try and kill the catfish when they're young.
Yeah, exactly. There is season when they are many, when they disturb us.
Yeah.
When they are many, but we control by putting boys 24/7, night and day,
Yeah.
to chase them away. Yes.
It seems kind of labor intensive, but if you can imagine how young when the catfish start growing and the birds just swoop in, we have people here 24 hours a day, literally hedge to chase the birds away.
Yes, exactly. The response is a little bit down.
Yeah.
It's not as
aggressive as the male.
Yes, exactly. So here numbers are filled.
Yeah.
And another thing, when they are having eggs,
Mm-hmm.
they are unable to swim like how the males can.
Because they're carrying on.
They are carrying eggs. They are all ready with eggs actually.
Okay.
Yes. So they don't eat a lot. It's just.
So to give them an example, how many bags do the males eat in comparison to the females? And how often the feeding as well?
Yes. Feeding for females, like now, these ones we feed once a day.
Yeah.
But for males, we serve twice a day.
Twice a day.
Yes.
So how many kilos?
It depends the number in a pond.
Yeah.
But like that one where we are, that's around 10,000.
Yeah.
We feed 2 bags a day.
2 bags a day. And honestly, if you know, feed is not cheap
It's not cheap. It's not cheap.
at all.
We're going to see the 3 days hatched fingerlings.
Yep.
And then the one that has been raised for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And the ones that are ready to got outside nurseries. Yes.
So, Mr. James, you know there's some technical internal processes that we don't want to mention. So just generally, just tell us what's happening here.
We have the broodstock, the male and females. So they are conditioned very well. So when we want to breed, we cut them and we bring them here. Then after bringing, we get the eggs from the females, then the sperms from the males. Then after collecting, we do fertilization, which is done artificially. We get the sperms, we mix with the egg. Then it takes 19 hours for the eggs to hatch. Then after hatching, the hatching nets, they are removed. Then we start nursing the young ones. So right now, this one, they are 1 week old. This is 1 week old. This is the hatched.
They get the feed as well.
Yeah. What they do after hatching, they take 4 days for feeding. Then after 4 days, we create external feeding, whereby we start feeding. But when they are at 2 days, they have a yolk sac to feed on. So we don't feed. So there are 2 sections, whereby the hatching section, after 4 days, we are transferred to second section. So this is the second section. So from here, after 3 weeks, we have a greenhouse. So currently, the capacity of a hatchery, we can produce 2 million fingerlings. But for now, monthly produce 1 million fingerlings. So that's what we are producing currently now. From the hatchery, they are transferred here. Now this one, they are 3 weeks old. So we are raising this one up to 5 grams. So when they reach 5 grams, we transfer to nurseries. So we have nurseries and they help us up to 10 grams. As they get 10 grams, that's where we stock to big ponds and we sell to farmers. So when they are here, you have to make sure this water have to keep on circulating, entering, getting out. So to maintain hygiene and adding on oxygen.
And this cycle works 24/7.
24 hours a day.
24/7 because, like he told you, they are fed every after 30 minutes. So we have a team that works during the day and a team that works at night, 24/7. So from here, we are going to see the outside nurseries,
Okay.
where the helpers are before we introduce them to the ponds.
The ponds. Okay.
So we raise them from the nursery nets, as you have seen the other side.
Yeah.
We are going to reach there. So when we stock them, the nursery nets, we raise them up to 10 grams.
10 grams.
But
In
before,
weight.
yeah, in weight, yeah. But before we reach the 10 grams, there are periodic gradings that we do to separate the sizes.
Yeah.
Why do we do the gradings? Is to eliminate the bigger ones from the smaller ones to avoid cannibalism.
Cannibalism.
Yeah, so naturally they are cannibals.
Well, the catfish are cannibals.
Cannibals, yes. So
Yeah.
the purpose of grading all that is to eliminate that and also to avoid competition of feeding.
Yeah.
So that's why we do the grading each and every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we move this side.
So, Mr. Norman,
Yes, please.
how many ponds are here?
For now, we have got 117 ponds,
Yeah.
but around 100 are stocked.
Yeah.
Then others are waiting to be stocked.
Be stocked.
As we harvest, then we clear, then we stock again.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Here you see we have fenced it. The reason why we fenced this is trying to reduce on the predators.
Yeah.
We have frogs that enter and eat the young ones.
Mm-hmm.
So we do this fence at least to control them.
The frogs.
There's even the monitor lizards that can come and enter the
And
pond
then,
and
yeah.
fish the young ones. So we do this kind of fencing to reduce them.
So as you can see,
These are the ones that are 10 grams.
they haven't attained the 10 grams yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are just nursing them to reach the 10 gram size we want.
Okay.
Feed there. So as we say, skinny, it's quite different from the size you have seen from the tank.
Yeah.
So even if the response itself, you can see it. So here, when we stock them, the feed we are giving here is quite different from the feed we use there. So this is around 2 millimeter, which we give for them.
Yeah.
So we raise them up to, it gives us three weeks to attain 10 grams.
10 grams.
So from 10 grams, that's when we stock them to our grow-out ponds.
Sure.
So depending on the size of the pond, we calculate and then we stock each pond depending on the carrying capacity of the pond.
Got it.
So it's 10 grams from here to grow out. So that's the main process we do from here. So as I told you earlier, the reason is to avoid cannibalism. When you stock catfish of 1 gram, 2 grams in grow out ponds, there is a lot of variation in size. And once there's variation in size, obvious cannibalism comes in, and then the number you have stocked business-wise doesn't come out.
But also the difference in size is you don't want the big ones to eat all the feed and leave the small ones so they're malnourished. So that balance.
Avoid competition in feeding, So that's why we do the gradings all the time. So as he has told you earlier, we are preparing also here this side for stocking more from hatchery. It's also a nursery section. So we are trying to eliminate away predation by fencing around the snakes, the frogs, the otters all around. So that's what, everything. That's why we are trying to.
There are a lot of snakes around here.
Yeah, of course, snakes you can't, of course, sometimes they do come. You don't know when they will come, so we have to be keen about that. That's why we do all this, So from this section, we have to go the other side and then we see how they grow out. So from 10 grams, how the reaction, how long do they take? So we see from the other side.
Okay. So let me show you, these catfish are very smart. I'm gonna start the feeding here, but what they're used to is once the feed goes here, they're used to the feed going around. So as I put it in, you're gonna see some will be active here, but some will spread themselves around, expecting feed to be distributed throughout the pond. But then they'll realize very quickly that actually it's only here that's being fed and they'll come back. Well, I hope it works. So you can see, they start going out wide, thinking the feed is going to be spread. And then they'll realize, can you see as far as back as they go? They'll realize, no, it's actually just here. And they'll all start coming back. You can see now, right? They all start coming back. And look how far they'll go from. They'll start spreading out. You can see, they'll start going. Yeah, the sizes. Oh yeah, look at that. So we're going to take you to see how we harvest the actual catfish before we start the processing. So we've seen from the fingerlings to the ponds to the harvest. So he's going to tell us the process when it comes in, what happens next. So, Mr. Charles, take it.
You're welcome to Masheda Foods production plant. So This is our beginning point. Our production is divided into two areas. We have the upper area and the lower area. So let's start with the lower area.
So this is where you'll see the kiln and where everything is smoked. The receiving area. It's the appropriate. Right.
So this is the receiving area. The truck with the fish from the farm, we park over here. Then we use our offloaders to offload the fish in crates. On receiving the fish, it is weighed.
So I'll look through I'll check the skin, the eyes, and see if it's fit to be processed.
Okay. But this one is fit to be processed. Fantastic. So when it comes from here, she'll do the quality control, checking the temperature, checking the skin to see whether it's okay to be processed. Because one of the things we didn't mention is this is organic fishing. There's no pesticides or anything. This is organic throughout. And then it's recorded here.
Our representative will take the weights. Yeah.
So it's weighed there, and when it's brought here, it's also weighed to make sure the weights are the same. So we go to the next stage. So this is the, as it says, filleting, gutting section. So the fish is going to become here, and then you're going to see how it's filleted and gutted. So you can imagine from the small fingerlings, so this is about maybe 2 kg, roughly 1.8, 1.6.
So in the dry solution, it will take like 30 minutes.
So you see when you see the catfish turn, this is how they shape it.
That's how they are shaping it. Okay. Then after shaping it, it will be ready for loading into the kiln.
Yeah. You can see
So
already what's
this
there.
one is already loaded in the kiln. So here our product can stay for like 8 hours. Then it will be ready for loading. Welcome. This is the fillet preparation room. So what happens here, they prepare the fillets ready for blast chilling. Yeah, we have a blast chiller over there. So what they do, they prepare the fillets ready for blast chilling. So what is it at minus 35 degrees in 35 minutes? A product which has been at plus 5 will be at minus 2. So we can proceed.
And then some of the products we're making,
Yes.
we have the smoked, we have the filleted. I think we're currently only selling them currently in the Congo and Uganda, but we're going to be expanding soon. And we have catfish sausages. So come through, I'll show you. So you can see it's French. So this is sold in the Congo. That's one of our current markets. And it's the sausage stickers again is in French because we're currently selling retail in Congo. So beyond the fillets and beyond the sausages, We also make catfish powder, which is rich in protein and calcium. I'll show you through here. So this is where the powder is made and sifted.
It's being made after grinding. The next step will be sieving. So they are sieving the powder ready for the final pre-pack. We'll see the already pre-packed products in the ambient storage room. This is the filling stage.
And what's really interesting about this, although it's for human consumption, a huge market we're going to tap into is the pet food market because of the nutrients in the catfish powder. But I'll tell you a bit about that later on. So here you have the magic. So this is the smoked catfish, the whole catfish, which is about what, 1 kg?
This one is the box is around 10 kg.
10 kg.
Loose, that's a loose part. We have the fillets over here. Smoked fillets. Those are also a loose part. Then we have pre-packed.
So show you the pre-pack. Like I said, it's only currently in Congo, but we're going to be spreading it around Europe. Because you know you've got a lot of the diaspora in Africa across Europe, so this will be made for them specifically. So you can see the packaging. It'll be a lot different when we launch it in about a month's time in Europe, but it gives you an idea. Premium product, organic. Can I get the fillet, one of them, and give you an idea of the fillet as well?
This one is 250, this is 500.
Yeah, so that's the 500 grams, 250 grams, and 250 grams. And then this is the powder, 120 grams. That's it. So we're going to another part of the farm. During the COVID time, there was a lot of women who were selling, well, just before COVID, selling fruit and vegetables outside. And obviously when COVID hit, a lot of the women were destitute. They couldn't obviously go outside, so they were looking for something to do. They even came to Masheda asking, they were happy to dig ponds and do all sorts. But what we came up with, it's almost a social, well, it's not almost, it is a social impact kind of project where we give them the products to basket weave and they make all sorts of household products, real quality. We haven't started selling it yet, but at some point in the new year, we'll be selling it worldwide. Some of these women now are breadwinners for their family and they actually have a percentage in everything that they produce. So we're going to take you through and show them. Muri Mutia? Fantastic. So these are the women that we were talking about and some of the products they're making. You can see the kind of quality. This is not the kind of stuff that you pick up off, off the street. It's real quality. So this one I think we'll be launching on Amazon. So Maz, if you're watching Translate Culture, in the same way you helped your wife with her African print, we'll be bringing this to market very soon. And every product we sell, all the women actually have a stake in the company and all the products. So that's something we're really looking forward to launching. Fiona, do you want to tell us a bit about kind of your experiences, what you're doing here, and how you found it so far?
In Ankole Design, we are doing many things, including table mats, wall hangings, trays, laundry baskets, and every kind of baskets. Since Ankole Design started, it's 4 years now, because we started 2021, that was after COVID. And before this basketry, we were working in ponds, where the management realized that we as the ladies that work is too heavy to us. So they introduced us this basketry. We wasn't knowing how to weave. So they hired people from outside to come and teach us how to weave. Then after getting up, so we started ours.
And you can see Nkori Design. So that's coming to a store right near you. So this will probably, well, not probably, this will be worldwide come January. We're going to set on Amazon, our own Etsy store, and all the kind of Shopify storefronts. And you will not only be, well, supporting a business, but also supporting these women and their families. So it's really important that you get involved as at the point at which we launch. See some of these. These are the table mats. These are solid. But my favorite are the wall hangings. Look at that. It's proper solid. As I said, Maz, we've got something to do here, help these ladies kind of provide for themselves and their families, which is critical and key. Okay, thank you so much. See you soon. Bye-bye. Dominion Capital and why we partner with Masheda. I mean, Masheda, beyond the kind of professional relationship, we're more or less family. And when Mum, we affectionately call her, came up with the concept of the catfish, I was first skeptical. But as the years kind of progressed, I really saw where the vision was and also saw the numbers, which made sense. So over the last 3 or 4 years, Masheda, beyond the resort, as you've seen in the documentary, have really developed out the process from the fingerlings right through to production. So it was only right that, you know, during the process I JV'd with them to kind of come about and spread Masheda foods worldwide.
I have known Mr. Eugene for a long time. I met him in London. And from there, he became my son. He has been coming here. He knows all the story of Masheda, the farm, the resort, everything. He has been like part of us, as part of the family. So I know him so much. I know his company. He has been in the food industry for a long time. He has been doing the avocado from Kenya, from South Africa, in Tanzania. So he's a businessman, and above all, he's a very down-to-earth gentleman. So that's the reason we've chosen to work with him.
People always ask me, why Africa? I always say to them, why not? And they always say, oh, Eugene, how do I start? Well, I said, first of all, travel. Whether you're from the diaspora or you're not, travel to a country, spend time with its people. And if you're that inclined to kind of look for opportunity will find you. I know many people who have just traveled to Africa for a holiday, and some have never come back. So it's often like that in Africa. And I think the opportunities in Africa, for especially people in the diaspora, are plentiful. I mean, you might have connections in Europe or the US where you've gone to school, but the access to power, access to influence, it's easier in Africa, and you're able to really make a difference. Another thing about Africa is the potential for returns are great. I mean, in the UK where we live and around Europe, if someone's getting 6-7% a year, they're happy. But if you really take into consideration the debasement in currency, and even if you're earning 10%, you're really at your purchasing parity is the same. In Africa, you can earn returns. Someone earning 30% a year, it's not uncommon. I mean, we know people who are earning 70-80% a year on trades, transactions, on investments, and it's happening daily. It's a regular occurrence. So what I would say is, go to a country you're interested in, immerse yourself in the culture, learn, and something will turn up. Why fish? I know you usually, well, in my line of business, it's more agriculture, but the fish industry, in which way we've partnered with Masheda, is the first time we're taking a raw product right from the beginning, to market. And once you kind of own your own value chain, you definitely see it in the numbers, but also for me, it's always been political for me. Food coming from Africa feeding the world, but actually owning every stage of the value chain. So this is a project that's really close and dear to my heart. And this won't be the only product we do as far as the catfish fillets, the catfish sausages, the catfish powder. There'll be other areas that we'll be actually doing going forward, from literally from the ground right into your supermarkets, not just in an Africa context, but in a European and worldwide context, hence all the certifications we've got. So really looking forward to kind of the different projects we have with Masheda going forward. Another really important part of what we're doing here with Masheda is like two things. The Kembogo project, and that is literally taking young men off the streets and teaching them how to catfish farm. And not only teaching them how to catfish farm, but also the produce, what they produce, we actually buy and sell to market, giving them an income. And to date, we've helped close to, if I remember, 500 young men off the streets directly. And in terms of kind of the impact, around 2,000. And the aim is just to keep growing that again and again and again. So beyond the farms and the catfish farms you've seen here at Masheda, there's another 300-400 elsewhere. So we're all kind of amalgamating all the produce we're having and then shipping not only into Africa, but around the world, and particularly Europe. We also saw the women. They're women who we helped during the COVID period. Instead of them coming and digging the ponds, we gave them jobs in terms of the basket weaving. And that's really quality basket weaving that we're not just going to sell in Africa. This is particularly to be sold in the Western world. And one great thing about the products they produce, they have 5% of all the revenues beyond their salary comes back to them. So that's something we're really proud of, that we really want to scale. So all of you that are watching this and you want to support that kind of initiative, get in touch with us, and then we'll make sure you can purchase it directly and you can see the impact that it will have on women, especially in the African context, being able to earn money for themselves, be the breadwinners in the family, and have agency over lots of the decisions that they should make for themselves, you know, not having money as a restriction. So I think, like I've said before, and when we talk about social capitalism, it's well, we still make money, but the means in which we make money, it becomes more and more important. It's always been important, but I think it's something, especially coming from the continent, to ensure that, you know, you're not benefiting or profiting off someone's misfortune. So I think one of the things that really underlines our partnership with Masheda is that kind of social capitalism and giving back and ensuring that those who work for us or work for our project are in a better position than when they joined us. So that for us is totally key. So you might be thinking, okay, why catfish? Well, let's do some maths. We produce about 3 million kilos of catfish every 6 months. Not with the ponds that we have here, the ponds that we have in other areas. Once you smoke the catfish, you lose about 70% of the weight. So probably 30% of the 3 million, we're about 900,000 a million. Now, I want you to do something for me. Go on Amazon and literally type smoked catfish and look at the price for 100 grams, 250 grams, 500 grams, and 1 kilo. You've done that? Now multiply that by 1 million. Do you now understand? And the beauty about catfish is every 6 months, it renews and grows. So although it's taking long, the investment has been definitely worthwhile.